info sheets are printed.
Second race, he had a ground strike.
On the cart, 36, Troop, Sawyer, Cranfield, Stone. On deck, 37, Russell,
Well, thanks so much for joining us again for another Nats Demystified. We're going to be talking today about one of the most exciting disciplines to the Nats. It's pylon racing. And we've got Travis and Dan here to help us talk a little bit about that. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Absolutely.
Hey, thank you for having us.
So one of the things that's so cool that a lot of people don't realize, because not everybody gets to go out to the flight line during a pylon race. But you see, you're out there flying the planes around and you have somebody special there standing there with you, yelling out commands to you. They're called the caller. Tell us a little bit about what that caller's job is.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the most important parts of the team. There's 4 guys racing usually, and everybody has their own caller and also pusher, which is a big part.
Same person. Yeah, caller is the pusher. Yeah, we got the best caller in the world right here, to be honest. So this is great to have him describe this. But all I was going to say is that the caller's job is to tell you when to turn at the far pole. It's some events it's about 600 feet away. It's tough for the pilot to judge when to turn. The airplanes are traveling close to 190 up to 200 miles an hour, so the speeds are such that a caller really gets in a rhythm, and a pilot, and as a team, they get in a rhythm and they feed off of each other a little bit. Most importantly is launch. It tells the pilot when to turn, and then the pilot changes course behind himself and the other 2 pilots all by himself. But I'll let Travis talk about the details of calling.
I mean,
the launch, starting with the launch is probably the most critical.
Yeah, we're on a 60-second clock, so your goal is to try and launch it as close to that 60 seconds as you can. We do a staggered launch, so 2 guys go first and then the next 2 are a half second later. So trying to hit it as perfect as you can makes a big deal because you don't want to be behind. Also, like he's talking about the cadence counting with the better the pilot, the easier it is to do that cadence. So it's easier to follow that 1-2 ready turn, which is what we do. But the other big important part is keeping an eye on what everybody else is doing, whether they actually have cuts, because the guy in front of you may not actually be winning because he might actually already have a cut. So it's really important to know everything that's going on.
So as a caller, what is it that you're looking for to be able to know when it is time to tell your guy it's time to turn?
At the far pylon, there's actually lights that come on when your airplane breaks the plane. So again, we're trying to anticipate breaking that plane right as the light's coming on. So it's really important to have that count and be as consistent as it can be. Because if you're inside it, you get one cut. If you
1 lap penalty in the event. Yeah.
And if you do it twice, you're out. You get a 0.
0 points. So in a heat race, American style racing, you get 4 points for a win, 3 points for second place, and then the culmination of the event is the guy with the most points. So our job in American racing is to gather points, and that's what we try and do. So it's important to say, like Travis was saying, if a guy has a cut but he's in front of you, you're going to win the heat because he has to do an extra lap. Otherwise, and then if you cut, you don't want to push it to get a second cut. So the communications between pilot and caller is really important.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for taking a couple minutes to tell us about pylon racing and what the caller's role is. If you guys want to learn about all sorts of different aspects to the Nats, be sure to check some of the other videos from our Nats Demystified series. And until next time, we'll see y'all later.